Hello students, this is Ritvik Dubey, your new computer teacher. In today's video class, I will discuss with you about computer hardware components, okay, which is chapter number 1. First of all, let us discuss what is a computer. Okay, if a layman comes to you, if a normal person who is not having any idea of technology or something like that, if he or she asks you what is computer, what will be your answer? Think. If a farmer comes to you, or if any uneducated person who is not aware of the technology, and if he or she is coming to you and asking you the question what is computer, what will be your answer? So you will say, this is the monitor, this is CPU, this is UPS, all these systems are combined and it makes our task easier. It is called as computer. But what is the standard definition of computer? Okay, you can say this is monitor, this is CPU, this is keyboard, and this is mouse. When we combine all these devices together, okay, it is called as a computer. But what is the standard definition of computer? So computer is an electronic device, okay, which works on 3 phases. It takes input, then it processes over the given input, and accordingly it gives the output based on the input. Okay, suppose for example, if I will tell computer, my normal computer, okay, hey, open the video for me. Okay, with suppose my computer doesn't have any net connection, and if I want my computer to play a video for me, will it work for me if I don't give instruction to the, if I'm not giving instruction to the computer to play video for me, will it work? It won't work. Okay, so in order to do something in computer, we need to give some input. So we can say computer works only when it gets some input, or we can say when we give some input. Clear? Then it processes over the given input, and finally the result is displayed over the screen. Clear? Even your mobile is a mini computer, yes or no? It is similar to the computer. First of all, you give input, then it processes over that input and it gives the output accordingly. Is it clear? So this is the standard definition of computer. Okay. Yes, you can write the definition given in your book also. Okay, you can write this definition also. There is no issue. You can see diagrammatically, the data is given as input and the processing starts by the help of a storage device. Okay, the instructions are taken from the storage device and then processing starts. Processing is done over the data which is given as input, and then the output in the form of information is produced. Is this clear? So this is the basic working of any computer. I hope I am clear. Okay, let's move. Then if I talk about the parts of computer, okay, so computer works with the interaction of both hardware and software. Now, what is the difference between hardware and software? Hardware are those parts of the computer which are tangible, that is, we can touch them. Okay, for example, mouse. Can you touch the mouse? Yes, you can touch. So it is the hardware part of computer. Monitor. Can you touch the monitor? Yes, you can touch the monitor. So any part of the computer which has its physical existence is called as a hardware. Okay, what about software? Just opposite of hardware. The parts which are not tangible, that is which cannot be touched, is called as a software. Okay, for example, pen drive. You can touch the pen drive, but you cannot touch the content within the pen drive. Can you touch the videos which are there within your pen drive? No. Can you touch the applications or softwares which you have stored in your pen drive? No, you cannot. So those parts are called as software, Okay, and the parts which we can touch, which are tangible, which have a physical existence, they are called as hardware. Okay, they are called as hardware. In this chapter, we will be discussing about hardware only. Okay, so broadly, hardware parts of computer are classified into two types: internal hardware and external hardware. From the name itself, anybody can say internal hardware means the hardware which are installed within the CPU cabinet. Okay, and external hardware are also called peripherals. Okay, the devices attached to the computer externally. Externally मतलब बाहर से जिसको attach किया गया. Okay, so the devices attached to the computer externally are called external hardware. So this is the broad classification of hardware, internal hardware and external hardware. First of all, I will complete all the internal hardwares, and then after completing all the internal hardwares given in your syllabus, then I will move to external hardware discussion. Okay, let's start. Internal hardware. See, yes, students, the internal hardwares are motherboard, sound card, video card, random access memory, read-only memory, disk drive, SMPS, switched mode power supply, modem, heat sink, and port. Okay. So under the category of internal hardware, we will discuss all these internal hardwares. Okay. First of all, we will discuss in detail about motherboard. Then we will discuss sound card, video card, random access memory, read-only memory, disk drive, SMPS, that is switched mode power supply, modem, that is modulator and demodulator, heatsink, port. Okay, let's start with motherboard. So please see this picture. This is the photo of a motherboard. Okay, you can see various electronic components are fixed over this plastic sheet. So what is motherboard? A motherboard is a sheet of plastic that holds all the circuitry to connect various components of a computer system. Okay, it contains all the circuitry by help of which various components of a computer system can be connected. In addition to circuits, motherboard contains a number of sockets and slots to connect other components. You can see so many slots and sockets are there. Yes or no? So why these sockets and slots are there? So that other components can be connected. All the activities related to the connected devices start and end in the motherboard. Clear? All the peripheral devices like printer, scanner, okay, your speaker, okay, and all sort of other peripheral device, your mouse, keyboard, all these are your monitor, all these are connected to the motherboard. Okay, a motherboard mainly consists of the following: processor chip, BIOS, that is basic input output system, memory chips, external storage controllers for video display and audio, expansion slots for connecting additional circuit boards. Okay, so these are the these are the components which are available within the motherboard. Okay, let me repeat it for you. Processor chip. Processor chip means your central processing unit, this one. Okay, then basic input output system, then memory chips, random access memory and read only memory, which can be fixed here. Okay, then external storage controllers for video display and audio, expansion slots for connecting additional circuit boards. Okay, so these are the main parts of a motherboard. Sound card. So this is the photo of a sound card. Sound cards are also known as audio adapters. Please note it down. It is an important question. I mean, it is a very important point. Okay, it can come in the examination. So sound cards are also known as dash. So audio adapter is the answer. Or dash are also known as audio adapter sound cards. A sound card is an expansion component used in computers to receive and send audio. Okay, what is the meaning of expansion component? Because of this, or by the help of this, the devices are connected to the computer, and through this, computer is able to receive and send audio. Audio means voice. Okay. Then the input device attached to receive audio data is usually a microphone, whereas the devices used for audio output are generally speakers and headphones. है ना? जैसे कि मैं अभी ये वीडियो बना रहा हूं, तो मैं क्या यूज कर रहा हूं? माइक, है ना? तो माइक्रोफोन का काम क्या है? मेरी आवाज को वो कंप्यूटर में स्टोर करने के काम आ रहा है ना? आया समझ में? और जब कंप्यूटर में ऑलरेडी कोई वॉइस है, कोई ऑडियो है, ठीक है, और अगर कंप्यूटर से अगर बाहर अगर उसको निकालना है, सबको सुनाना है, तो क्या जरूरत है उस समय? स्पीकर्स एंड हेडफोन्स. ओके, so the input device attached to receive audio data is usually a microphone. I mean, the computer can receive audio data only when a microphone is used. Yes or no? And if the computer has to send audio as output, then the computer will have to use speakers or headphones. Clear? Okay. Sound card converts incoming digital audio data into analog audio so that the speakers can play it. Okay, I will show you after some slides. I will show you the what we say, the diagrammatic representation of audio data and digital audio data and analog audio, or analog signal, you can say. I will show you the picture. Okay, don't worry. So sound card, what is the functionality of sound card? It converts the digital audio into analog audio. Now, let me tell you what is digital and what is analog. See, the informations are stored in computer only in digital form. Okay, computer cannot store the data in analog form. Even if my voice, which is getting recorded now, it is getting stored in the form of digital one, not analog one. Yes, while speaking and while transmission of this signal, it is analog, but the moment my voice gets stored in computer, at that particular time it is stored in digital form. मतलब कंप्यूटर में कोई भी डेटा अगर है, चाहे वो ऑडियो हो, चाहे वो वीडियो हो, चाहे वो टेक्सचुअल डेटा हो, कोई भी डेटा वो डिजिटल फॉर्म में ही स्टोर होकर के रहेगा. ठीक है, ट्रांसमिशन के समय हो सकता है कि एनालॉग सिग्नल जाए, लेकिन स्टोर होते समय वो डिजिटल फॉर्म में ही स्टोर होगा. ठीक है, तो ये काम किसका है? ये काम किसका? साउंड कार्ड का है. ठीक है, नाउ लेट मी टेल यू, दिस इज द साउंड कार्ड. ओके, एंड assume your system has some audio. Okay, your system has digital audio data. Now this sound card will convert that digital audio data into analog audio. Okay, and then only the speaker will be able to play that audio. ठीक है, तो कंप्यूटर के अंदर में जो ऑडियो स्टोर्ड है वो डिजिटल फॉर्म में स्टोर्ड है, जो कि स्पीकर यूज नहीं कर सकता है उसको बजाने के लिए. स्पीकर को क्या चाहिए? एनालॉग ऑडियो चाहिए. तो ये डिजिटल ऑडियो को एनालॉग ऑडियो में कन्वर्ट करने का काम किसका है? साउंड कार्ड का. किसका काम है? साउंड कार्ड का. ठीक है, वाइस वर्सा भी पॉसिबल है. In the reverse case, the sound card gets converted, can convert analog audio data from the microphone into digital data that can be stored on the computer. अब जैसे यहाँ पे देखिए आप लोग, ये माइक्रोफोन है. अब ये माइक्रोफोन में कोई आवाज अगर जाएगी तो वो कहलाएगा एनालॉग ऑडियो डेटा. अब ये आवाज को मान लीजिए कि मुझे कंप्यूटर में स्टोर करना है, तो कंप्यूटर में स्टोर करने के लिए अभी कुछ देर पहले ही समझाया था कि डिजिटल फॉर्म में होना चाहिए. तो एनालॉग ऑडियो को भी डिजिटल में वापस कन्वर्ट करने का काम किसका रहेगा? साउंड कार्ड का ही रहेगा. तब जाकर के वो जो ऑडियो है, वो जो आवाज है, वो कंप्यूटर में स्टोर हो पाएगा. आया समझ में? तो ऐसा नहीं है कि साउंड कार्ड जो है सिर्फ एक ही डायरेक्शन में काम करता है, बोथ डायरेक्शन में काम करता है. डिजिटल को एनालॉग में भी कन्वर्ट करता है, एनालॉग को डिजिटल में भी कन्वर्ट करता है. आई होप द थिंग्स आर गेटिंग क्लियर. यस और नो? देन वीडियो कार्ड. You can see the photo. A video card is also known as graphics card. Okay, a video card is also known as graphics card. It is an expansion card connected to a motherboard that is used to generate the video output on a screen such as monitor and television. Okay, so the video which is appearing on the monitor screen or television, it is because of the video card. Okay, it enhances the quality of the displayed images and contains its own processing and memory unit. So it improves the quality of displayed images, and it's very interesting. The central processing unit, that is the processor, has the processing and memory unit and control unit. But video card also has the processing and memory unit. Okay, clear? Then central processing unit. What is central processing unit? CPU. So most of the students and most of the persons think that the cuboidal shaped box is the CPU. My dear students, that box is just the CPU cabinet. Okay. Within that CPU cabinet, we have the motherboard, and over the motherboard, we have the processor. This is actually the brain of the computer. By the help of this component only, the computer is able to process our data. So this is the front view and this is the back view. Okay, is this clear? Central processing unit is the primary element of a computer. It is also called as the brain of the computer. It is also called as brain of the computer. Okay, components of a central processing unit. Just give me 1 second. Yes. The three components of a central processing unit are listed below: arithmetic and logic unit, control unit, memory unit. Okay, you can see the diagrammatic representation. By the help of input devices, we give input to the computer. Then this is the what? These are the parts of CPU. I've already told you, computer is an electronic device which works on three phases. It takes the input, processes the input. So while processing, it takes the help of three units: control unit, arithmetic and logic unit, and memory unit. And then it displays the output. Is this clear? Okay. Now, what is the task of or function of arithmetic and logic unit? It performs arithmetic and logical operations, all plus, minus, into, divide, okay, and logical operations, okay, checking operations, is it correct or not? Okay, all these kinds of operations are performed by the unit which is called as arithmetic and logic unit. Then control unit. It extracts instructions from the memory, decodes and executes them. Okay, what is the meaning of decoding? Decoding means converting. Okay, decoding means converting the instructions. Okay, first of all, it extracts. What is the meaning of extract? It takes out the instructions from the memory, then converts and then executes them. Okay, run them. Then memory unit. What is memory unit? It enables the computer to store data and instructions. From the name itself, we can say, what is the use of memory? Storage of data and instructions, yes or no? So memory unit enables a computer to store data and instructions. Now let us discuss about random access memory. When we switch on the computer, the operating system gets loaded onto the RAM. ठीक है, आप लोगों के लैपटॉप या फिर डेस्कटॉप में ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम होगा, या विंडोज 7 हो सकता है, विंडोज 8 हो सकता है, या विंडोज 10 हो सकता है. तो जब आप लोग अपने कंप्यूटर को स्विच ऑन करते हो, तो वो जो ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम है आपके सिस्टम में, कंप्यूटर सिस्टम में, वो एक्चुअली लोड कहां पे होता है? रैंडम एक्सेस मेमोरी. ओके, क्लियर? It is used to store data and instructions during the execution of programs. For example, if you have opened 3 applications, for example, Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, Photoshop, and all, and assume you have opened 3-4 applications. Okay, so all the applications are opened over RAM, that is random access memory. Clear? Okay, and all the data and instructions are stored temporarily, not permanently. Okay, the data and instructions which RAM holds is lost when the computer is switched off. तो मैंने अभी क्या बताया, आप लोग कोई भी एप्लीकेशन अगर खोलोगे, जैसे माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वर्ड खोलते हो या फोटोशॉप खोलते हो या कोई भी एप्लीकेशन खोलते हो, तो उस एप्लीकेशन को खोलने में कुछ मेमोरी चाहिए होती है। वो मेमोरी देता कौन है? रैंडम एक्सेस मेमोरी। और उस पर हम लोग जितनी भी काम करते हैं ना, टाइपिंग के काम करते हैं, डेटा को फीड करते हैं, वो सारा का सारा स्टोर कुछ समय के लिए कहाँ पे होता है? रैंडम एक्सेस मेमोरी में। इसलिए कहा जाता है कि फटाफट हम लोगों को सेव कर लेना चाहिए, क्योंकि अगर कंप्यूटर स्विच ऑफ हो गया या शट डाउन हो गया तो फिर वो सारा का सारा डेटा हट जाएगा। ठीक है, दिस इज व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज अ टेम्पोरेरी मेमोरी, और वी कैन से वोलाटाइल मेमोरी। It is a read write type of memory. What is the meaning of read write? We can read the instructions as well as we can write the instructions, means we can type the instructions. It is called as random access memory because it is possible to randomly use any location of this memory. अब ये लास्ट लाइन का मतलब क्या है? Why is it called as random access memory? ठीक है, see, assume this is the memory space provided by random access memory. Assume, okay, now if I have opened Microsoft Word application, so random access memory has allotted the space here. Assume, okay, at the same time I have opened another application called VLC Media Player, and assume random access memory has allotted the memory space in this location. Okay, now assume at the same time I have opened Photoshop and random access memory has allotted the space here. Now, if I close all these applications, Microsoft Word, VLC Media Player, and Photoshop, okay, if I close all these applications, let me show it to you. Okay, if I close all these applications and restart again, it is not guaranteed, okay, that Microsoft Word will get the location here again. Random access memory can give the location to Microsoft Word here, then Photoshop here, and VLC Media Player here. Okay, so the location is not fixed for the applications. That is the reason why the name to this memory, the name that has been given to this memory is random access memory. Clear? Clear? Okay. Then types of random access memory. Dynamic memory, which is called as DRAM, and static memory, which is called as SRAM. Okay. So in examination, the question can come, what are the types of RAM or random access memory? So we'll have to write the types of random access memory are: bit number 1, dynamic RAM. In short, it is called as DRAM. And the second bit is static RAM. In short, we can say SRAM. Clear? Now, what is dynamic RAM? The information is stored in dynamic RAM has to be refreshed after every few milliseconds, otherwise it is erased. Okay. It is mostly used for system memory because it is cheaper. Cheaper का मतलब होता है सस्ता, and has higher storage capacity than SRAM. Okay. So here difference can also come in the examination. Static RAM. The information stored in static RAM need not be refreshed, but it remains stable as long as the power supply is provided. And it is costlier, it is expensive, but has high speed than DRAM. ठीक है, तो इसका मतलब डायनेमिक रैम क्या है? थोड़ा सस्ता है। स्टैटिक रैम क्या है? महंगा है। ठीक है, स्टैटिक रैम का जो स्पीड है वो डायनेमिक रैम से ज्यादा है। ठीक है, आया समझ में? डायनेमिक रैम में हमेशा इंफॉर्मेशन को रिफ्रेश करना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो वो इरेज हो जाएगा। स्टैटिक रैम में रिफ्रेश नहीं करना पड़ेगा। ठीक है, और ये कब तक रहेगा डेटास या इंस्ट्रक्शंस? जब तक पावर सप्लाई मिलता रहेगा इसको। जैसे ही पावर सप्लाई कट ऑफ होगा, डेटास हट जाएंगे। ठीक है, आया समझ में? So these are the types of random access memory: dynamic RAM and static RAM. It is very simple. Now let us discuss about read only memory. Whenever a computer is switched on, it searches for the required instructions. The memory which contains these essential instructions is known as read-only memory. So most of the times you have seen that when we turn on the computer, Windows, the screen of Windows come, okay, Windows loading. So where those instructions are written, and whenever we turn on our computer, those instructions automatically come. Yes or no? The name of the operating system, Windows, is loading. It shows na every time when we turn on the computer. So where these instructions are written? They are written over read-only memory. Okay. So this memory is permanent. Why? Because the data's instructions are not lost. Even if you switch off the computer, it is also called as non-volatile memory. ठीक है, volatile का मतलब होता है जो गायब हो जाता है, तो नॉन वोलेटाइल मतलब जो गायब नहीं होता है। गायब नहीं होता है का मतलब क्या है? यहाँ पे जो डेटाज इसके अंदर डाले गए हैं वो डेटाज गायब नहीं होते हैं स्विच ऑफ करने के बाद। किसको स्विच ऑफ? कंप्यूटर को स्विच ऑफ करने के बाद भी वो डेटाज रहते हैं, गायब नहीं होते हैं। तो गायब नहीं होते हैं, इस वजह से इसको क्या कहा जाता है? नॉन वोलेटाइल मेमोरी। इट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज नॉन वोलेटाइल मेमोरी। Clear? It is called as read-only memory because it can be read only and not be written by the user or programmer. That means we can read the instructions, okay, but we cannot modify or we cannot write the instructions. That is the reason why the name read-only memory has been given to this particular component. Clear? Okay. Then types of read-only memory. Programmable read-only memory, erasable programmable read-only memory, and electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. Now, in PROM, okay, in programmable read-only memory, the information is stored by the programmer after its manufacturing and it cannot be changed. Altered means changed. It cannot be changed or it cannot be erased later on. एक बार जो इंस्ट्रक्शन लिख दिया गया उसको बाद में चेंज या फिर मिटाया नहीं जा सकता है, इस केस में प्रोग्रामेबल रीड ओनली मेमोरी के केस में। देन इरेजेबल प्रोग्रामेबल रीड ओनली मेमोरी, इट इज सिमिलर टू प्रोम बट व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस? इट्स इंफॉर्मेशन कैन बी इरेज्ड। यहाँ पे इंफॉर्मेशन इरेज किया जा सकता है, इंफॉर्मेशन को मिटाया जा सकता है। कैसे? बाय यूजिंग अल्ट्रावायोलेट लाइट एंड इट कैन बी रीप्रोग्राम्ड। फिर से नए इंस्ट्रक्शंस डाल करके उसको रीप्रोग्राम किया जा सकता है। देन इलेक्ट्रिकली इरेजेबल प्रोग्रामेबल रीड ओनली मेमोरी, it is similar to EEPROM, but what is the difference? Its information can be erased by using high voltage current. Now see the difference. PROM में क्या हुआ? एक बार जो इंफॉर्मेशन स्टोर कर दिया प्रोग्रामर, फिर उसके बाद उसको चेंज या फिर मिटाया नहीं जा सकता। और इरेजेबल प्रोग्रामेबल रीड ओनली मेमोरी क्या है? वो सिमिलर है, लेकिन डिफरेंस क्या है? इरेज किया जा सकता है, लेकिन ये याद रखना पड़ेगा कैसे? बाय यूजिंग अल्ट्रावायोलेट लाइट। और इसमें भी इरेज किया जा सकता है, लेकिन कैसे? बाय यूजिंग हाई वोल्टेज करंट। सो यू विल हैव टू रिमेंबर, ओके, हियर इन EEPROM we can erase the information by using ultraviolet light, and in case of double EEPROM we can erase the information by using high voltage current. Clear? Then let us discuss about disk drive. It enables the users to read, write, delete and modify data. Modify means change data, okay, by using disk drive. Okay, we can read the data, we can write the data, we can delete the data, we can change the data on a storage disk. It manages the input-output operations of the disk. Clear? Then examples are hard drive, removable storage devices, floppy drives, and optical drives. Clear? Then switched mode power supply, whose short form is SMPS. Okay, it looks like this. Now it is essential for safe running of power consuming appliances such as computers. So it acts as a stabilizer. Okay, since a computer requires stable and efficient power supply, SMPS is used. It also contains inbuilt fans to release excessive heat generated during the computer use. है ना। कंप्यूटर का जब बहुत समय तक यूज कर लेते हैं हम लोग, तो क्या है, बहुत ज्यादा उसमें से हीट निकलने लगता है। तो ये इनबिल्ट फैन इसमें लगा रहता है ताकि वो हीट को कंट्रोल किया जा सके। ठीक है, ये क्या करता है, जो हीट है ना उसको बाहर निकालने में मदद करता है ये फैन के माध्यम से। Okay, so it also contains inbuilt fans to release excessive heat generated during the computer use. Release मतलब बाहर निकालना, है ना। हीट अगर बाहर निकल जाएगा तो कंप्यूटर तो सेफ हो जाएगा। Okay, so this was about switched mode power supply. Then modem. Modem looks like this. Okay, the term modem is formed by combining the words modulation and demodulation. So from modulation word, they took two letters mo, and from demodulation they took three letters, that is DEM. So they combined these two words, modem. Clear? Now there are two processes, modulation and demodulation. What is modulation? The process of translating digital signal into analog is called as modulation. And what is demodulation? The process of translating analog signals into digital signals is called as demodulation. Clear? Now please look to it. This is the analog signal. Okay, this is the representation of analog signal, and this is the representation of digital signal. The upper part is considered as high voltage, then low voltage, high voltage, low voltage. So the low voltage is considered as a 0, and the high voltage is considered as 1. 1 0 1 0 1 0. Okay, so it is in the form of 1 0. The digital signal is in the form of 1 0, whereas the analog signal is not in the form of 1 0. Okay, so this is the what diagrammatic difference between analog signal and digital signal. So if digital signal is getting converted into analog signal, that process is called as modulation. And if analog signal is getting converted to digital, it is called as demodulation. Okay, please remember these two terms and definition. It may come in the examination. Then what is the basic function of a modem? To enable communication between various computers on a network. Sir, what is the meaning of network? Group of computers connected with each other, okay, in order to share information, in order to share resources. Okay, it is called as network. मैं फिर से बता रहा हूं, नेटवर्क का मतलब क्या होता है, कलेक्शन ऑफ कंप्यूटर्स अगर आपस में कनेक्टेड हैं, बहुत सारे कंप्यूटर्स अगर आपस में कनेक्टेड हैं और एक दूसरे को डेटा ट्रांसफर कर पा रहे हैं, तो उसको कहा जाता है नेटवर्क। और मॉडेम का काम क्या है, नेटवर्क को क्रिएट करने में मदद करना, है ना। अगर एक नेटवर्क में दो कंप्यूटर हैं तो दोनों कंप्यूटर के बीच में इंफॉर्मेशन को लेने देने का काम वो कौन करेगा, मॉडेम। क्लियर? ओके, देन टाइप्स ऑफ मॉडेम, इंटरनल मॉडेम and external modem. What is internal modem? It is a card that is installed into a slot within the CPU case of a computer. ना, हमारे कंप्यूटर में CPU केस है ना, तो एक कार्ड है जो कि इंस्टॉल किया जाता है. It is called as internal modem. It is powered by the power supply of a computer. Okay, it gets the power as long as the computer is getting the power. Once the computer stops getting the power, it also stops receiving the power. Clear? Then external modem. It is a box-shaped device that is connected to the serial port of a computer. Now we will discuss about the ports and all, okay, in our next class. Then it is so called as it is placed outside the computer. Clear? So these are the two types of modem, internal modem and external modem. It is powered by an external power adapter connected to an electrical outlet. Okay, so this is the difference between internal modem and external modem. So please go through the video once again. Okay, note down things. Thank you for attending my class.